The Flowers of Wisdom. Stories from the Garden. In a garden full of colors, sounds, and scents, where nature and life coexist in perfect harmony, an elderly wise teacher sat beneath an old tree, observing the world around him. Years had passed, but the teacher knew that true wisdom was not found in age, but in understanding the small and big lessons that life brings every day. One day, a little girl approached the teacher with hesitation in her eyes and a question on her lips. "Teacher, how can I find happiness?" The wise man smiled gently and looked at her calmly. "Happiness, my dear, is like the flowers in this garden. Each one has its own rhythm, the exact moment it blooms. However, to discover it, you must get to know yourself and understand the needs of your soul." The little girl listened quietly, and then the teacher suggested they walk together through the garden, where the earth was full of life, and the flowers bloomed under the sunlight. The teacher pointed to different flowers, and with each one, he revealed a truth. "Do you see this flower?" he said, pointing to a colorful blossom that seemed to glow under the light. "This flower teaches us the value of patience. If you cut it too early, it would not have the strength to develop its beautiful colors. So too, our mental well-being needs time to bloom." The girl observed carefully, and listening to his words, she began to realize that life is not a race to reach somewhere quickly, but a process of evolution and awareness. Sometimes, the best things in life take time and dedication. They moved a little further, and the teacher showed her a flower with white petals. "This flower," he said, "teaches us the value of purity. When we let go of negative thoughts and emotions, our soul becomes purer, and our well-being develops naturally." "But how do we purify our soul?" asked the girl, full of questions. "With forgiveness," the teacher replied. "Forgiveness towards others, but most importantly, towards ourselves. Inner peace is the key to mental and spiritual well-being. Do not let the wounds of the past darken your heart." As the day went on, the teacher showed many more flowers, each with a different lesson about life. Each flower represented a different aspect of mental and spiritual well-being. From the value of acceptance to the recognition of the gifts life brings at every moment. When they reached the end of the garden, the teacher turned and said to the girl, "Just like the flowers in this garden, so too does our mental and spiritual well-being need care, patience, and love. We must devote time to ourselves, cultivate our inner peace, and learn from our experiences. In this way, happiness will bloom within us, just like the flowers in the garden." The girl looked at him with gratitude, and a smile formed on her lips. She now knew that happiness was not something she had to find outside of herself, but something she needed to cultivate within her heart. Moral of the story: mental and spiritual well-being is a process of cultivation, patience, and self-awareness. Happiness is not found outside of us, but in our inner search, in acceptance, and love for ourselves. Just like the flowers in the garden, happiness blooms when we give it time, care, and attention.